Starting in mid-2026, a reroute will potentially send thousands of visitors right through Colorado City, Arizona, a small town that for decades has been known for polygamy and controversial church leaders.
Now there's a new push to change that and welcome tourists, which for years were shunned. 12 News journalist Justin Pizzera made the trip up to the Arizona-Utah border and has our story.
This one's called the Plig Rig.
It doesn't take long when you're talking to Jared Williams to realize he is passionate about working.
Wahoo!
And he is proud of his latest business ventures, an off-roading company called Lifted Spirits, where he takes visitors to hard-to-reach places along the Arizona-Utah border. And then his elaborate Airbnb that looks like nothing else in this small town. He's excited about the possibility of seeing even more tourists from an already packed Zion National Park not far from town.
That's a really pretty view of El Capitan right there. I don't know if it's necessarily trying to attract them. I think that they're coming regardless. And I think that I would like the opportunity to open people's eyes to what's special about the place.
What is special is part beauty and part history. The beauty part you can see for yourself, but the history is complicated and controversial. For decades, the Fundamentalist Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints owned all of the property and operated both Colorado City, Arizona and Hilldale, Utah, two small towns connected to each other. The church leaders called the shots on everything, from the police department, education, to where the men and their wives and children would live. There was one belief system, and that system is what kept the town secluded and cut off from society.
We were taught when we were young that everybody that wasn't in here was wicked, Gentiles. We were taught, everybody's going to hell except for us.
Jared has good memories growing up with his 42 brothers and sisters. He says his 4 mothers instilled in him a good work ethic.
We had 3 gardens and we had cows and chickens and, we had a huge farm. So, we worked.
As he got older and after numerous trips to larger cities, he started noticing he wanted more.
When I was about 16, I earned $1,100 and bought me a little Dodge pickup and left town. Gonzo. I got to tell you, he's been a little bit dirty. Just a little bit.
Jared is now 48 years old and he's been back for just 2 years, and a lot has changed. There are still small signs the church is still functioning in some way, but in large part, the towns have moved on after the church's leader, Warren Jeffs, was sentenced to life in prison for sexual assault. The federal government seized FLDS property and auctioned it off. Those proceeds are now going back into building a new community. Behind this brick wall was the heart of the community. This was the main church. 5,000 to 6,000 church members attended every single week. But you had to be a member of the church to attend and live in this town. But today the main church is being gutted and turned into the Short Creek Legacy Center, where there's going to be an events center, community theater, music and dance studios, where everyone will be welcome.
It's about 1.5 miles north of the top of the hill, right, or top of the mountain.
Howard Ream is the mayor of Colorado City. He's pointing out just how close Zion National Park is to town. He's helping lead the area's transformation and brace for what could be a boom in development and tourism.
You look at the overall size of the community and the amount of homes we have in Colorado City, we're looking to, within 5 to 7 years, looking to almost double in size.
To make sure that rapid growth is strategic, Ream says the town is looking at shifting how it zones areas for residential, commercial, and industrial.
We don't want to be that bedroom community. We want to be a community that people want to come to, bring their business to, and can raise a family in a safe manner.
I am excited.
Ray Hammond is the co-owner of Edge of the World Brewery, the first establishment in Colorado City to ever serve alcohol. He says 60% of his business right now comes from tourism. Ray and other business owners not only like the business, but also the chance to change the narrative about the community.
We want, when people stop here, to be able to talk with people that are from here and get educated about here, instead of people that don't know anything about it coming up with their own little idea.
Some business owners are using the town's history to maximize potential. For instance, Warren Jeff's former mansion and compound, which stretches blocks in town, is now a bed and breakfast.
So this whole thing was his compound. All of the walled-in area was his compound.
Jared is using humor as a selling point. He's printing shirts that say things like fourth wife material, favorite wife, and sister wife forever.
There's a polygamous boy from here that makes these by hand, and this is some of the best work I've ever seen in my life.
All kidding aside, the goal is for visitors not to hold on to the town's past, but to embrace the future.
Well, my perspective of that is that it just happens naturally. I mean, I don't think that was, from my perspective, that was a blip. It's not the story. The story is a long one, and that was just a kind of an ugly chapter.
In Colorado City, Arizona, Justin Pizzera, 12 News.